Hey guys, before we get started, I wanted to mention really quick that I do have a couple stickers available for sale. They're only available until the 31st of March, so if you're interested in buying one, the link will be down in the description. Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a cage tour for Piper. If you don't know who Piper is, she is my new leopard gecko. If you haven't seen any videos I've posted about her, I will link to them at the end of this video, so make sure you go check those out. But I just got done cleaning her cage and I actually put a couple new items in here this time, so I thought it'd be the perfect time to do a cage tour. Whenever I clean my hamsters, I always change things up a lot and give them like different themes and stuff. But with the leopard gecko, I really don't change that much. I just clean her cage to clean her reptile carpet. But since I did change a couple things up and rearrange, I thought this would be a good time to do it. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at what's inside Piper's cage. So I'll just start with the outside of the tank. Piper's in her 20-gallon long aquarium with her regular little screen lid that I got for it. Back in the back corner is her thermostat that is hooked up to her heat mat. Her heat mat is under like this part of the tank, so all of this hide is warm, and then part of this hide is also warm. So there is a cord that runs down this back corner that is from the thermostat, and that runs down the back corner. I just have it taped on with some electrical tape, and then it actually runs right inside of her warm hide. So that's the little thermostat probe that lets me know how warm her tank is, and it keeps it right around 88 degrees on this side. Her thermostat currently says it's 87.9 degrees right there. I do have it set at 88, but it does fluctuate by a couple degrees, but it stays pretty good right around 88. When I first set up her tank, I did try to put the temperature probe under the reptile carpet because I didn't want it out in the open, but I couldn't get a good constant temperature with it that way, so I did have to just tape it to the reptile carpet. She doesn't seem to mind it, she doesn't bother it at all, and I don't really see it because I hide it in there. So that is how I keep her warm side warm. She is actually in her warm hide right now. That is where she spends the majority of her time, and this is one of the new items that I just put in. I bought this little Exoterra cave at the Reptile Expo where I got Piper, but I haven't used it yet, so hopefully she likes it. It's just a really cool little natural cave. I believe this is the medium size. And then moving back to this back corner, I just have a plant. This is one of my favorite plants just because it adds a lot of color to her cage. And it looks like Piper is actually going to come out and say hello. So there she is right now. She is doing really awesome. I've had her for about a month or so now, and she is taming wonderfully. She has shed a couple times and is doing really good. And as you can see, she is super adorable. And so moving on from Piper, up in this corner is just her little corner water dish. Now this is on the warm side, but the heat mat actually stops back around the corner of this cave. So her water is not on the heat mat, so her water isn't warmed up. But that's the only place I could really put it in this little cage configuration. So now we'll just move past Piper again, still out to say hello. And we'll move over here. Next to her warm hide is her humid hide. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see it a little bit more. So most of this hide is actually on the heat mat to keep it nice and warm and humid. And then part of it is not on the heat mat. That way if she wants it a little bit cooler, she can move over there. But this is the hide where she goes when she is shedding. The humidity really helped with her shed. Right now I just have it full of some cocoa fiber. And then in the back, I have another really big plant that also adds a little bit more color. This one is really big, and it is actually like attached to a log. It also has red tips, and I got this plant at Petco. And then moving up to the front of her cage, she just has her little calcium dish. This is actually just a little milk cap that is full of plain calcium without D3. I know that not everybody leaves plain calcium in with their leopard geckos, but from the research I've done, since she's only about 7 months old or so, I do leave it in for now. I don't know if I always will when she's older, but I just want to give her the option of some plain calcium if she thinks she needs it. I do have to say this calcium does make the tank a little bit of a mess because she tends to walk through it and get it all over the carpet, but it's no big deal to clean the carpet and just change it out, so I do leave that in there. And now we will move over to the cool side of the tank. She doesn't spend as much time over here, but I like to give her a lot of different things to do and explore if she wants. So the first thing on the cool side is this is just her cool hide. This was in her tank before. I really like this hide. I think it is pretty cool looking. I haven't seen her go in there much, but I'm sure she checks it out at night when she's more active. And then over in the corner is her third plant. This is just a really cool cactus that adds a little bit of bright green. And then in the back is another item I bought at the Reptile Expo where I got Piper, but this is actually the first time I put it in her cage. This is actually just two separate pieces of like cork bark. So there's one big piece that runs from here, runs all the way across and actually goes up like that. And then there is just a smaller piece that runs straight across back there just to give it a little bit more stability so it is nice and stable and she won't be able to knock it over. Leopard geckos aren't huge climbers. They're not like crested geckos and like live in trees or anything. But I have found that Piper absolutely loves having something a little bit higher in her cage because she does like to climb around and explore a lot. So I like to always give her some type of wood that goes up a little bit higher just so she can explore and have a little bit of fun. And this also kind of doubles as another little hide because as you can see, it is pretty nice and dark in there, so she can go back there if she wants. So that is Piper's current setup. I did forget to mention that I don't have a food bowl in there. I used to keep a mealworm bowl in there, but I found that if I leave mealworms in with her, she really doesn't care about them at all. She would rather just have me feed her like every other night, but if I leave them in her cage, she doesn't even look at them. So I decided to take her mealworm bowl out, so that is why she doesn't have a food dish. But that is all I will be showing you today. I'm sorry she didn't come out more. It is a little early for her to come out, but she is super active. And like I said, if you do want to see some more of her, I will link to a couple of videos at the end. But if you did like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss my upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys next time.